And it's not a super easy answer, so I want to put that as a disclaimer, because again, if it was, I'd be shouting it from the rooftops. But one of the ways that I think someone can come out of their hiding is focusing on really small and steady steps and not looking at the big picture. I think the first thing that sends anyone who wants to have recovery back into the corner is the overwhelming notion of what it's going to mean to tell my secret out there and how it's going to feel to be exposed. Instead, you want to focus on one person in your life that you could trust, that you could share what's going on with you, whether that's your mother, your therapist, your friend, your boyfriend, girlfriend, anybody that you feel like you can lay your burden down in front of and say, this is too heavy for me to carry, I need help. Asking for help is the key that unlocks the hiding. And our minds can take us on a crazy journey about why that's going to be the worst thing ever to ask for and how no one's going to come through and real help's not going to help you and all the excuses. But the truth is, for you to come out of hiding, you have to shine a light in the darkness. You have to tell someone, you have to ask for help, and then once you do that, you have to be willing to go through the steps to get it, which means getting your butt up and going into that office to talk to somebody or driving yourself to that group meeting and really committing to you. And again, it's small, steady steps. It's not a grand, sweeping change. But you have to shine the light where you're hiding, and you have to know that you're worth it and that you need to be able to take a risk on yourself.
Right. And trusting that help is out there. There's just so many resources, and I'm going to post the National Eating Disorder Association site again so people can go there. There's just a ton of resources and stories and good information there. And so it's just, I got an email from someone the other day, a high school senior who was doing a project and had read my story on the National Eating Disorder site, and they were wondering, one of the things they were looking into was, are there enough resources out there? And my personal opinion, there are plenty of resources. It's just like what you're talking about, that there has to be the willingness. So you start to shine the light and be willing to tell the truth to yourself about what's really going on, and then know, like you said too, there may be a moment of inspiration of, oh, it's time to get help, but then it may feel like walking through thigh-deep mud after that. It's not necessarily easy, but the thing is, it's just putting one step in front of the other, continuing, and then it does get easier. And it gets easier and easier and easier. And then, like you said, too, there's still days that are dark days because we are still human. But what would you say to answer that question about resources?
Yeah, I think you actually illustrated that pretty beautifully. I mean, there are lots of great resources out there on a national level. NEDA, the National Eating Disorders Association, for those who are struggling with eating disorders, is certainly the go-to place for information, advice, local resources. I mean, you can find all of it there, and that's super important on a national level. But also there are some really great local advocacy groups that are doing wonderful things for people in your community. It might take a little while to search for them, although now with the internet it's super easy, but you can find support in various places. You can call, you can go to a group, you can pick up books, you can work online. Like, there are lots of ways to get those resources and help. And you know what? We do need more. We need, certainly in this world, we need to create a mental health parity where we are recognizing eating disorders as a legitimate mental health disease and are getting coverage and treatment from our insurance companies so we can get the help we need. That's certainly much further down the road for people they encounter that. But we also need to realize that there is no harm in asking for help, that resources should